The MX Linux team has announced the launch of MX Linux 21. The new release is available in 3 editions: XFCE, KDE Plasma and Fluxbox. The MX team says, "We are pleased to offer MX21 for your use." Things that are new in MX Linux 21. Debian 11 Bullseye base. New and updated applications. New installer partition selection or management area, including some LVM support if LVM volume exists already, and the ability to set existing data partitions to be mounted on install. New UEFI live system boot menus. UEFI live users can now select your live boot options, persistence, etc. from the boot menu and submenus rather than using the previous console menus. XFCE 4.16, Plasma 5.20, Fluxbox 1.3.7 with MX Fluxbox 3.0 configs. User password will be sudo for admin task by default. You can switch this in MX Tweak in other tab. MX Store showing an overview of each desktop environment. Translation updates. MX Comfort default theming, including dark variant and thicker border XFWM variants. Mesa Vulkan drivers are installed by default. Better Realtek Wi-Fi support. A ton of customization and custom scripts in MX Fluxbox. And MX Linux 21 was officially released based on Debian 11. Check out the news and find out where to download the distribution. MX Linux, a desktop-oriented Linux distribution based on the stable branch of Debian, is a cooperative venture between the Anti-X and X-Memphis Linux communities. Using XFCE as the default desktop, it's a medium-weight operating system designed to combine an elegant and efficient desktop with simple setup, high stability, solid performance, and medium size. Now, the MX Linux team has announced the release and general availability of MX Linux 21. What's new in MX Linux 21? Dubbed the Wildflower, MX Linux 21 has been in development for 6 months and comes as an update to the MX Linux 19.x series. Based on the latest and greatest Debian 11 Bullseye operating system series, and comes with the environments of desktop XFCE 4.16 and KDE Plasma 5.20, as well as, for the first time, an official edition featuring the Fluxbox 1.3.7 window manager with MX Fluxbox 3.0 settings. The XFCE edition, which remains the flagship edition of MX Linux, introduces the Tuner Share plugin for the Tuner Filer Manager to access Samba shares, which you can access from a Folders Properties dialog, plugin updated doc type as well as several other updated XFCE packages. The Fluxbox edition comes with a Fluxbox Configuration Manager, similar to the XFCE Configuration Manager. Tint 2 as the default panel with a collection of pre-built configurations and an expanded set of tools for panel management. Tiling options using Ctrl plus 1 to 9 or arrow keys. MXFB Quick Short and MXFB Timer and revised help documents with 10 translations. Highlights of MX Linux 21 include a new installer partition selection area with LVM support, new live UEFI system boot menus with rollback option and the ability to select boot options directly from the boot menu and submenu instead of using the previous console menus, and user password sudo for admin tasks by default. This new version of MX Linux also features a new application called MX Store, which gives newcomers a brief overview of each desktop environment. In addition, users will find a new default theme for all three flavors called MX Comfort, a bunch of custom scripts in the Fluxbox edition, as well as several other small configuration changes, especially in the dashboard with new default dashboard plugins. Hardware support has also been improved, and MX Linux 21 is powered by the Debian 11 Linux 5.10 LTS kernel series, but an advanced hardware support ISO image featuring the KDE Plasma desktop environment will also be prepared with kernel series Linux 5.14 latest. This new kernel release brings better Realtek Wi-Fi support for dynamic kernel module support, which is DKMS modules, which are installed by default, and better support for modern hardware. Finally, Mesa Vulkan graphics drivers are installed by default in this version for a better gaming experience. In this update, MX Linux remains a systemd-free Linux distribution featuring sysvinit as the default boot system. However, systemd is also available in this release as a boot option, but only on installed system, not the live ISO. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the thumbs up button. It helps make a good content for you. Other than that, I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace out.